Hi everyone and welcome to another Team Talk. I am Matt Print and I am a group exercise instructor and a personal trainer in Coventry in the United Kingdom, and I'm here today to share my journey into fitness with you all. Now, it's not me showing off, it's not me trying to tell you what you should be doing, but I'm just hoping by this talk to make you see that we all have the power for change within ourselves. So no matter what we think our life is going to be, things happen, things change, and it's how we adapt and maybe seeing them as opportunities, not obstacles in our road, and seeing how we can overcome them. So without further ado, let's start at the beginning. I at school was overweight and I was inactive. I did not enjoy PE. I did not enjoy sports. I still don't like sports, and that's okay. And I have really flat feet, so I also had a lot of pain in my feet and my ankles growing up because I don't have the support there. So generally I was pretty inactive. I've seen dietitians as a child. My parents would take me swimming on a Sunday morning, my dad would, and when I was getting to the age where I could join a gym, I was going to a gym, but didn't really take it seriously. I of course had a program to follow from the gym floor staff, but that was kind of my childhood. I was into musical theatre, I did performing arts, played the piano. I'm very much a creative in that way. Spring forward to uni days, I continued to go to the gym, the uni gym, but nothing really changed physically for me. And when I did my masters, so I would have been about 21, 22 then, I went to the doctor and I was like, look, my joints click, they hurt sometimes when I come down the stairs. Now, of course, the first thing the NHS and the doctor went to was, you need to do something about your weight, which is a very common story. So I joined the gym again because I'd stopped, but they also did further investigations and they said, we're not happy with your liver, we think you've got fatty liver disease. Investigations carry on, and it turns out I have a condition called hemochromatosis where my body overloads with iron. We're just going to park that because that doesn't really affect me. Everything's fine there now. So I was going to the gym, and then I moved back home when I finished my masters. So this would have been 2010, and that year I accidentally broke up with my then boyfriend, who'd been my first boyfriend. We'd been together 6 years. We broke up. I felt terrible because he was a nice guy, but it just wasn't working. And that night I was like, I need to do something different. I feel bad. I kind of want to escape how I'm feeling. So that night I went to a Zumba class because I'd joined the gym and tried to lose some weight, and that was the focus of my training. And I went to the Zumba class. I was the only guy, stood at the back, room full of women, a little bit intimidating, a little bit nervous, but that hour was amazing. I forgot the breakup. I felt good. I'd had a workout. I had the post-workout endorphins. I'd had a giggle with a couple of people on the back row. And yeah, I loved it. Then, because of course I was going through my first ever proper breakup, I was still feeling bad. I was doing more and more classes. And I was loving Zumba. And then I saw that I could train to be an instructor in a day, and there was a course down the road in Stratford upon Avon. So in July that year, I went along to that course, I trained to become an instructor, and by the next month I already had 2 regular classes at Moat House Leisure Centre because Zumba was going through its huge boom, instructors were in demand, and me being a man and teaching Zumba was a huge USP because you don't get many male fitness group exercise instructors. PTs, tons of males. Group exercise, not many. So I had a little advantage in that way. Now, I just wanted to put a side note. The reason I trained to be an instructor was also I trained at uni to be a composer, so to write music, but the work wasn't frequent. So I trained to be an instructor with the mindset and the aim to do it as a side hustle, as a sideline job that I could jump in and out of when I didn't have music work. But spring forward to the end of 2010, I had 5 classes a week. and they were popular classes. They were earning me a good living, so I continued, and in my prime I had about 19 classes, not 19, I wasn't that good. I had 12 classes a week. So in 2011, I met my new boyfriend, learnt to drive, and then later that year I started a class in Leicester because I was spending more time at his place in Leicester. So I was splitting my time between Coventry and Leicester. And he was like going, hey, what are you going to do the rest of the time, if you get injured? So I started a cake business as well during this time. It's when the Bake Off was just starting and everyone was starting a cupcake business. Excuse me. Let's now spring forward to 2013 when me and Vaughan broke up. I was so heartbroken, and I'm not going to shy away from that. I was genuinely heartbroken. It was a really tough breakup, and for the next few months the emotional stress really took its toll on me. And it's during this time that my friend Palmer, some of you may know, took me under her wing and we started training in the gym together because she was a personal trainer. So I started doing weights and resistance training. I was starting to see physical changes and feeling good about the way my body was looking. So I was starting doing resistance training, but also I had this emotional stress. And I want to talk about that briefly because everyone's like, oh my God, Matt, you're losing so much weight, you're looking great, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't talk about where it was coming from. It was actually coming from a heartbreak. It was coming from emotional stress. It was coming from me not being happy. And actually Zumba, my training in the gym, once more was this thing that saved me from my emotional pain. It kind of helped me to escape. So that again was the point there and then for my exercise. But coming back to people commenting on my weight, it was a double-edged sword because I knew it wasn't coming from a healthy place. We all love being told we're looking great, we've lost weight, blah, blah, blah. But actually, it wasn't coming from a good place. And especially now, I try not to comment on people's weight because you don't know what's causing it. Because it could be something emotionally painful for them. Anyway, moving on. So I was training with Palmer in the gym. I was feeling good about my body composition. I ditched the cake business because I realised it wasn't making me a lot of money. And I then qualified in 2014 as a personal trainer. I went and I trained once more and I became a personal trainer and then started personal training in 2015 at Simply Gym over at Cannon Park in Coventry. I got some really great clients who I still have till today. So that's 7 years. Yay! Hey to all my lovely clients. And then 2020, the pandemic happened and I transitioned to online training with my personal training clients and my classes. Created lots of different styles of classes, kept it fresh, and really saw my job during this period as to keep people motivated and to keep the community I'd created in the real world as strong online. 2021, things started to open up again, and rather than going back to the gym where I used to work because I didn't want to have the travel, I didn't always like working there, it didn't always work well with my other fitness business, Fitness with Matt, and so I converted my garage into a PT studio, a private personal training studio where my clients could come to, but also it doubles as a virtual studio for when I was doing online classes still. Finally, here we are today. I am not doing any online only classes. I live stream from my Zumba classes in the community, so you can either join me in person or online for those. I'm still personal training, and here I am today. And yeah, that's kind of a timeline of where I've come from. And I wanted to share some top tips about what I've learned during my journey. And I really do not want to focus on the weight loss I have had, because actually when I think about it, the big changes that have happened in my life haven't been because of the weight loss. The one period of my life where I really lost a lot of my body fat, it was coming from heartbreak. It wasn't a good place, and I don't want sympathy or pity for that. but I'm just making aware that weight loss is not always coming from a good place. So here are my top 4 tips. Number 1, you have to enjoy what you do. I started Zumba because of how it made me feel. It was that escapism. Now, I of course dealt with the emotional stress that was happening in my life eventually, but sometimes in the short term, we just need to escape what's happening. And exercise, Zumba gave me that. Secondly, again, focusing on how it made me feel rather than how it made me look was important. And that translates into my training in the gym. Because when I train in the gym, it's about me feeling strong and making progress in what I'm doing in the gym. So being able to squat heavier, being able to bench press better, but also how it translates into my everyday life. You know, I have more energy now, I have more confidence, general everyday movement is substantially better. I don't tend to get any ankle pain like when I was a child. You know, I can remember being in bed at night crying because my ankles hurt so much. I was probably being a little bit dramatic as well. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, that's that. Number 3, notice what you can do now. So I didn't have an end goal in sight. It's about focusing on what you can do. Okay, because life will happen, obstacles will come in the way. Well, how can I adapt what I was doing so that I can still do something now? Okay. Number 4, it really is what you do daily or weekly which matters. Okay, it's what we do regularly in our everyday life that helps us get the results and the goals we want. My life is completely different to 10 years ago. It's different to 5 years ago. But me, the way I eat, the way I train, how I spend my time is completely different, and it's just part of my life. Habits are powerful things, okay? So look at what you can maybe do regularly that makes you feel good, that gets you moving, eating foods that you enjoy still, but also being mindful of having that balance. Everything comes down to balance is what is important. So I really hope this has helped you feel empowered, because it's kind of bittersweet. Anytime anything bad has happened in my life, the 2-3 breakups I've had in my life, big breakups, have resulted in my life-changing course and for the better. And that's no disrespect to anyone I was dating, but it has really resulted in positive changes. So when something bad happens to you in life, it's how we approach that and move on from it which matters, because bad things are going to happen to all of us. Things will happen in our lives. It's how we approach them, how we deal with them, and how we move on from them which matters. So I really hope that helps you. Sorry, it got a bit serious, didn't it? I realised I've hardly smiled at all. I've been like, this happened. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Remember, you can change your life right now, from this moment. And it doesn't take anything big. It could just be a simple decision that, do you know what, this week I'm going to get out of the house and go for a walk twice this week. That's where it started. Mine started with 1 hour of Zumba a week and became 2, 3. And then I gained confidence and wanted to do it myself. And then another breakup, became a PT. You know, anything can happen. So don't pigeon yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't tell yourself you will never do X, Y, and Z. Because the difference in you doing X, Y, and Z and not is taking action. So take care. Have a brilliant day. Connect with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Fitness with Matt. I'm on Instagram, Fitness with Matt 1. I'm also on YouTube, TikTok, website fitnesswithmatt.co.uk, where you can find out all about my classes and also find my blog there with lots of helpful fitness tips. And yeah, see you all soon. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this has inspired even one person to take action today and turn that frown upside down and smile and move forwards. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
I make see again. Love is the answer.